On behalf of Brigadier General James R. McKinney, welcome to Will Rogers Air National Guard Base 1994. Over the next few minutes, we will present to you some of our history, our mission, and our accomplishments for the fiscal year 1994. The 137th Airlift Wing had its beginnings as the 185th Fighter Squadron in February 1947, flying the P-51 Mustang. The original base was in Norman, Oklahoma, but after a tornado destroyed the base in 1950, the unit moved to its current home at Will Rogers World Airport. Members of the 137th have flown a number of aircraft, including the P-51 Mustang from 1947 to 1953, the F-80 Shooting Star from 1953 to 1958, the F-86 Saberjet from 1958 to 1968, the C-97 Stratocruiser from 1960 to 1968, the C-124 Globemaster from 1968 to 1974, and the C-130 Hercules from 1974 to the present. And we have participated in the Korean, Vietnam, and Desert Shield, Desert Storm conflicts. The mission of Will Rogers Air National Guard Base is to enhance global reach by serving our nation, state, and community through the unique capabilities of the 137th Airlift Wing and the 205th Engineering Installation Squadron. Our vision is to be the most capable unit in the Air National Guard, manned with competent, energetic, and dedicated people, committed to excellence, prepared and equipped for any and all missions, and dedicated to a process of constant improvement. Currently, the 137th consists of the Wing in Oklahoma City, the 130th Airlift Group in Charleston, West Virginia, and the 165th Airlift Group in Savannah, Georgia. Each unit is equipped with C-130H aircraft and has approximately 1,250 personnel assigned. The unit at Will Rogers is slightly larger because of the aeromedical evacuation mission and the Wing headquarters staff. Will Rogers is organized into 6 major areas: the Wing headquarters, the operations group, the logistics group, the support group, the 137th Medical Squadron, and the 1 tenant unit, the 205th EI Squadron. The 137th Airlift Wing is commanded by Brigadier General McKinney, and his Vice Commander is Colonel Jeff Collins. The operations group is commanded by Colonel Cal Moreland and consists of the 185th Airlift Squadron, the Aeromedical Evacuation Squadron, the Operations Support Flight, the Aerial Port Flight, and the Airlift Control Flight. The Logistics Group is commanded by Lieutenant Colonel Larry Rowe and consists of the Logistics Squadron and the Maintenance Squadron. The Support Group is commanded by Colonel Terry Raisin and consists of the Civil Engineering Squadron, the Communications Flight, the Mission Support Flight, the Security Police Squadron, and the Services Flight. The 137th Medical Squadron is commanded by Lieutenant Colonel Dan Morris, and the 205th Engineering Installation Squadron is commanded by Lieutenant Colonel Victor Hackala. We at Will Rogers Air National Guard Base are proud to be an important part of the Oklahoma City community. We enjoy good rapport with the people and businesses of the area. Currently, we operate $225 million worth of aircraft and support equipment, maintain $11.5 million in capital assets, and $5.5 million in inventories. This year, we constructed new facilities on base valued at $5.2 million. The base spends approximately $8.7 million annually in operation and maintenance outlays, and our payroll is $9.1 million. We are dedicated to excellence, and through quality programs, members of Team Will Rogers are ready to meet any challenge the future may bring. Fiscal year 1994 started where 1993 left off, with volunteers from the 137th Civil Engineering Squadron still at St. Joe, Missouri Air Guard Base, helping fellow guardsmen dig out of the mud left by last year's record floods. Another very important mission carried over from last year was Operation Restore Hope. From 8 July 1993 to 24 March 1994, medical personnel from the 137th Aero Medical Evacuation Squadron were deployed to Mogadishu, Somalia, and Mombasa, Kenya, to provide medical care for soldiers from the United States, Pakistan, Morocco, Tunisia, Sweden, and Norway. They also provided aid to the people of this famine and war-ravaged land. Beginning 1 October 1993 and continuing through 30 June 1994, the 185th Airlift Squadron provided crew members for air, land, and airdrop missions in Bosnia-Herzegovina as part of Operation Provide Promise. During this same period, the Maintenance Squadron provided 23 aircraft maintenance technicians to support this very important humanitarian mission. Over the 9-month period, the equivalent of 19 of our crews flew numerous missions of mercy, many in combat conditions and many into besieged Sarajevo itself. Our flyers were crewed with aviators from the Air Force Reserve, from other Air National Guard units, and flyers from the active duty Air Force. They flew C-130s with unfamiliar configurations which were maintained by technicians they did not know. The enormous success rate of their missions is a tribute to the excellent, standardized training throughout the Air Force and to the skill and flexibility of our Air Guard crew members. But flying skill and courage were not the only ingredients in this mission. Compassion and the true spirit of Oklahoma were evident in the toys tied to the bundles dropped to the isolated people on the ground. The hope was that some small joy could be brought to an otherwise bleak and terrifying winter. Back in the States, November saw a member of the 137th Maintenance Squadron, Technical Sergeant Joyce Stotler, bring a great honor to the unit and the Oklahoma National Guard. She was selected as the Oklahoma Female Veteran of the Year. This is a fitting award for a member of a squadron noted for its positive, can-do attitude and technical expertise. Our maintenance squadron is the lead unit for the Air National Guard in developing and updating the aircraft battle damage repair program. They are also the lead unit for non-destructive inspection training for C-130s, the 130 Product Improvement Group, and the Core Automated Maintenance Improvement Group. All of these technical assignments are indicative of the trust the National Guard Bureau and the Department of Defense places in our maintenance technicians. As November ends and December begins, thoughts of goodwill and helping our fellow man fill the air at Will Rogers. Each year, the people at our base support a number of charitable organizations with their money, food, clothing, gifts, and time. A prime example of this community spirit is the annual Operation Toyland, when each Christmas season our volunteers join with other agencies and businesses to bring nearly 25,000 new toys to needy children in the Oklahoma City area. And our humanitarian efforts reach outside the local community. For example, when Larry Jones of Feed the Children found himself with a truckload of donated food and clothing for the children of Bosnia and no way to ship them, our aerial port flight turned the stacks of goods into 2 well-organized pallets ready for shipment. Our people also support the community by reaching past charities and into the local school system through our newly created Adopt a School program. Volunteers from our base assist Rockwood Elementary School in Oklahoma City by mentoring students in a one-on-one situation at least 1 hour per week, and by acting as teachers' aides in the classroom where they provide a positive role model for these grade school children. This program is in its beginning stages, and we will expand it in the future. In February, with the holiday season behind us, the 137th Airlift Wing took on a different community service role, a media and civic leader tour. We transported the governor of Oklahoma, 12 civic leaders, and 10 news media people to Rhein-Main Air Base, Germany, where they met and flew with Oklahoma Guardsmen participating in Operation Provide Promise. The resulting media coverage allowed Oklahomans to watch their Air Guard perform its mission. April and May proved to be very busy for the 137th. From 18 April to 1 May, the Security Police Squadron deployed 40 air-based defense personnel to Nellis Air Force Base, Nevada, for 2 weeks of intensive ground defense training in the desert. This combination of classroom instruction and field exercises greatly enhanced their wartime capability skills. They returned to base tired but joyful, and certainly more combat ready. Also in April and May, the wing deployed 2 crews, 30 support personnel, and 2 aircraft in support of the 7th Special Forces Group, who were participating in a Joint Chiefs of Staff exercise in Santiago, Chile. Well, at almost the same time, 3 aircraft, 4 crews, and support personnel were sent to Hickam Air Force Base, Hawaii, to support the 25th Infantry Division during an emergency readiness deployment inspection. They flew 84 missions for a total of 92.6 flying hours. They dropped 47 CDS bundles, 80 paratroopers, and moved 2,347 passengers and 167,000 pounds of cargo. The fast pace continued into June for the wing, and this time it truly was a wing effort. The 165th Airlift Group and the 130th Airlift Group joined forces with the 137th in support of Phoenix Partner, a JC exercise in Belgium. The 2 groups and the wing each supplied 3 aircraft, 100 personnel, and the necessary support equipment to set up operations at Chevra Air Force Base, Belgium, for 2 weeks. Being in Europe during the 50th anniversary of D-Day was inspiring and educational for our people, and the mission proved to be quite varied, including dropping 480 German paratroopers. On the trip over to Belgium, the 137th transported 20 aeromedical evacuation personnel to Ramstein Air Base, Germany, where they flew training missions into Spain and Turkey on the C-9 Nightingale. Also in June, the 137th Aeromedical Evacuation Squadron participated in Patriot MedStar 94, an exercise at Westover Air Force Base, Massachusetts, designed to test the capabilities of the aeromedical evacuation system during limited conflict. Although primarily a June deployment, our involvement in Operation Agile Provider on Great Inagua Island in the Caribbean began long before our main body of civil engineers arrived for a 2-week work-filled Spartan tour. Our facility manager, Chief Reedy Maples, was selected as the overall coordinator for the project and began working on it in April of 1994. He spent nearly 4 months on this project and was given high praise from the U.S. Army engineers for his ability to coordinate the efforts of vastly different units from the Army, Coast Guard, Drug Enforcement Agency, and the Air National Guard. When our engineer arrived on 11 June, their task was to construct concrete runway turnaround pads, a concrete helicopter apron, and a runway access strip. In all, they poured 520 cubic yards of concrete and left a usable airfield where before there had been rocks and blowing dust. But again, the Okies left more than just excellent work. The Civil Engineering Family Support Group organized a drive to collect books here in the States to take to the school on the island, which was in dire need of teaching materials. In all, we delivered 1,000 pounds of books to a very appreciative group of students and teachers. Back home, our civil engineers began a project with national importance at the end of June. And once again, the NCO who was chosen to coordinate the project was from the 137th Civil Engineering Squadron. This was the first nation-building project in the continental United States for the Air National Guard. We constructed a 2,500 square foot fire station for the Bureau of Indian Affairs in Taos, New Mexico. The construction schedule involved 3 2-week deployments of 15 to 26 craftsmen each. It finished on schedule, and the dedication brought dignitaries from the Secretary of the Interior's office, the Bureau of Indian Affairs, the local Indian tribe called the Red Willow People, and the city of Taos. This kind of project produces affordable facilities for our other government agencies and excellent training for our engineers. In July, August, and September, the 137th renewed its efforts toward helping eliminate illegal drugs in Oklahoma by participating in Operations Clean Sweep 1, 2, and 3. Our aircraft and personnel joined with the Drug Enforcement Agency, the Oklahoma Army National Guard, and numerous other state and federal agencies to locate and eradicate marijuana plants in the state. Drug enforcement officials have called these actions the nation's largest multi-agency task force to date. We are very proud of our role in these counter-drug operations. They are only a few of our anti-drug efforts, however. We have led the nation in developing and implementation of a highly efficient, low-cost aerial reconnaissance camera platform used for locating marijuana plants from the air. In addition, we have assisted the Customs National Aviation Center in assessing the probability of a Boeing 727 being used as an airdrop platform for illegal contraband. We give full support to the Drug Demand and Reduction Program by using our facilities during Oklahoma City's air show to tell the anti-drug story over and over. The summer was busy for all of the 137th. In June, the 137th Mission Support Flight performed their annual training by assisting the 554th Military Personnel Flight at Nellis Air Force Base, Nevada. They had a large backload of work due to the downsizing of the active duty Air Force. Among many other important accomplishments, personnel from the 137th audited over 3,000 records in response to an Air Force-wide requirement. Our troops left with high praise and heartfelt invitation to return from their active duty hosts. In mid-July, we again were a major part of the annual Aerospace America. This is the 9th year we have been involved in this significant community event. This year, over 400 volunteers from Oklahoma City Air Guard gave their all to ensure the success of an event that started out as our base open house. Our people arranged for 90 military aircraft to participate this year, helping the show retain its reputation as one of the largest in the world. Shortly after Aerospace America, the Logistics Support Squadron deployed 76 of their members to Eielson Air Force Base, Alaska. They were to provide backfill support for the base as they worked to adjust to a shrinking Air Force. Our people had the privilege of spending their tour in a tent city and being food for the Alaska state bird, the mosquito. We ended FY '94 with our second trip to Argentina in as many years. From 3 through 17 September, the Wing and the 185th deployed 3 aircraft, 4 crews, and personnel from the maintenance, communications, and operations support units to this South American country. In conjunction with the Argentine military, we flew 32 sorties, dropped 307 Argentine paratroopers, and 19.3 tons of heavy equipment and CDS bundles, as well as hauling 761 passengers and 167.3 tons of cargo. Also, this exercise was the first opportunity we have had to deploy with and test our new battle damage repair trailer. The trailer proved itself to be a valuable asset, and the mission proved to be a major training success, as well as a success in international relations. So as you can see, Team Will Rogers is involved in the nation, the state, and the local community. We are truly citizen soldiers, and what you have seen here is only a representation of all we have accomplished at Will Rogers in fiscal year 1994. You have seen only the major events. The quality work accomplished by our people every day shows through in these major activities. One of our proudest accomplishments this year is that we have added over 3,900 safe flying hours to our already excellent record. At year's end, we were already preparing for fiscal year 1995. We have deployed personnel to support our government's actions in Cuba, Haiti, and the Persian Gulf. It is no wonder our recruiters had the second highest number of new enlistees in the nation last year. A career with the Guard at Will Rogers is both exciting and rewarding. We see no change in this in the future.